Hey kids, what time is it? Yes, that's right. It's time once again for the top 10 worst all-time things. No, top 10 all-time worst lists. What a pleasure and honor it is for me to be here once again to deliver. I think the concept, sort of defies description. I don't know that, based on what I'm seeing from the public at large, that they'll be able to get it. But it works like this. I take a list on a specific topic, and I come up with 10 examples within that topic of the worst possible things. Now, 10 is the number that comes after 9. Any questions out there? My name is Dan Saul Knight. Stupid as can be and loving it. What a top 10 list I got for you this time. It's stunning. It's shockingly, amazingly great. Ultra mega great. It transcends to the most liberating information perhaps that's ever been delivered on any top 10 list ever, all time. This is an all-time level, once in a generational top 10 list. Excuse me, but before we get to that, I'm obligated to enumerate a few disclaimers. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm belching. I only had a bag and a half of Taco Bell 5 minutes before I got the camera rolling. Just kidding. I've made a vow like 30 years ago to never again allow Taco Bell to pass over these lips, and have not backslid one bit on my vow to never eat that plastic, pukey garbage. I mean, of course, I'm eating everything else in sight, so it's hardly a badge of honor. All right, so number 1, I'm nuts. Obviously, you probably can figure that out for yourselves. You didn't need me to tell you. I needed to tell you. That's where the origin of the need of this particular line item arose from. You didn't need me to tell you that, right? Number 2, I'm not partisan. Oh yeah, so I'm nuts. I can't be relied upon. Stuff that I'm going to be saying as part of this list, if you take that as at face value, if you think of it as the all encompassing gospel on any particular subject I might happen to broach as part of this top 10 worst stuff list, it's on you. It's not me. I had nothing to do with it, officer. I only told them that, top 10 worst things about watching CBS News. Son, we're going to have to do a warrantless search of your premises again. Anyway, I can't be trusted or relied upon because I'm not in full control of my mental faculties. I have a certificate. Where did my certificate go? I have a certificate somewhere. Here's my certificate, you rotten bastards. It's a piece of tissue paper for the blowing of the nose should it become necessary. Number 2, I am not partisan. I hate everyone who objectifies people with broad brushstrokes. I'm not going to allow it on this top 10 list. Endeavor. Top 10 worst of list endeavor, whatever, I call it. Even the haters will say, all the libs are jerks and self-centered, intolerant, what do you call these things when you got the spoiled brats, and all the left-wingers will say all the right-wingers are fascist idiots and stuff. You're both right, okay? I throw up my hands, and I throw up after every time I eat a large meal. No, that's not right. I apologize to all the people that would be offensive towards. What is right is that, fine, you're right. The right-wingers are all a bunch of haters, whatever makes you feel good about yourself. Now, I'm not going to actually believe that, of course, because, every time you paint people with broad brushstrokes, it's bigotry. It's bigotry. It's just a different form of bigotry. And you think you're all so high and mighty on the right and left. You're all a bunch of pompous windbags, as far as I'm concerned. And if you can't find a way to live together, I'm going to have you all go to bed without your supper. I'm going to make you run 10 miles until you puke your guts out, and then you can all go to bed without your supper. Get over yourselves. It's over. The human race is over. You lost the race. You let these maniacs in charge of these gigantic power apparatuses, gigantic, enormous, expansive military and intelligence community. How do you think anybody's going to get past all that? Nobody's going to be able to beat those guys. Nobody's going to be able to depose that. The United States back, in the rise of Nazi Germany, at least the United States was out there as a power, a consolidated power that could go up against them and duke it out. Forestall the ascension of the fascists to unbeatable, Aryan nationhood. But who's going to do that against the United States now? You gave them all the money, you just turned off, and gave the most horrible people the most unbeatable weaponry possible, and just sat around, just like said, it's your fault. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. Your fault. Your fault. Your fault. Your fault. It's all your faults. Sitting around, napping, binge watching stuff, going to frickin' sports contests, betting on March Madness, while all the time you're giving over $1 trillion over to the billionaires to build this undefeatable, gigantic military and surveillance network. You were just begging for those weapons to fall into the hands of people who had no morals. And lo and behold, there you go. And I'm not just talking about the specific regime in charge of the White House at this juncture. They're all in on it. They're all in on it. The Democrats don't represent the working class. It's all one party designed to make it look like there's two parties, so you feel like you have some representation in the power apparatus that's running the country, but you don't. It's a game. It's all scripted. It's an illusion. Number 3, I'm trying to create a movement where, we all love everyone and everything and sing Kumbaya around the campfire out by a creek or something. I don't know. What the hell? All right. You got it? Ready for action? Okay, great. Because intro kind of sucked because I was just so looking forward to this profound top 10 worst things list. And this one, you're going to be telling your grandkids. Well, none of you all will ever have grandkids, because the AI robots will have exterminated the human race by then. But, in theory, you could tell your grandkids if, that somehow you escape to, New Zealand or wherever some of the last remote areas will be on their list for a human race extermination. Anyway, here it is. Man, I'm wearing out my arm, patting myself on the back for coming up with this top 10 worst list. Top 10 worst things I want to do to the band Phish. Okay? Now, I don't know how many out there know the band Phish. It's not my fault that you're not, don't have situational awareness of the most phony people in our society that are just out there just spewing forth a bunch of pre-chewed, pre-digested nonsense. Oh, I got a great facility on our instruments. I'm Phish. We're talking about talking. I got songs about talking. Da-da-da-do-do-do. It's just a different kind of milquetoast. Yeah, some guy sat in a room for forever and learned all these guitar scales and stuff like that. And then he uses it as a means to be able to bore everybody to hell. It's just Phish does, when they're not on tour, they subcontract themselves out to anesthesiologists who bring Phish in, before major league operations so that they can use them to put, patients in crisis into a medically induced coma. Anyway, so here we go. Top 10 worst things I want to do to the band Phish. Those milquetoast, soulless, plastic nobodies. Number 10, dump all of their own chemical toilet tanks on top of them, a la Dave Matthews Band tour bus style. What happened, I don't know if anybody, hasn't heard about this yet, but anyway, I'll go through it. Dave Matthews Band tour bus was driving through Chicago, and in Chicago has, if not the most, one of the most amounts of bridges in a metropolitan area of any city in Chicago. You got rivers and all kinds of stuff. So the tour bus knows this, and they're most of the bridges in downtown Chicago have, because there's actually a lot of boating that takes place, and having a winter season, they have to take the boats off the lakefront, and they bring them into dry dock through the Chicago River system. So they have to have the bridges all have to raise and lower and stuff to let the boats through. And those metal bridges, for those who haven't seen them, are sort of like a grating, and they have slats in between them, and that water and rain can just fall right, straight through the grating that the mobile portions of the bridges are made out of. And somebody who's driving the Dave Matthews tour bus knew this and decided to dump the chemical toilets out of the bus when he was rolling over one of these graded bridges. What he didn't see was that the split second that he did that, there was and it's a really nice thing. They've got an architectural boat tour of that runs through the Chicago River system through downtown that shows you a bunch of really good buildings, gives you a nice tour guide, kind of points out the various different architects and stuff. And Chicago at one point was like a architectural marvel, really. So one of these boats was going under the bridge at the same time the guy dumps the chemical toilets, and the goo lands on that boat as it's passing under the bridge. And one person, from what I've been told, especially got the brunt of it. I was also told that it was pretty disturbing and disgusting. But you can imagine that for yourself. You can put that part of it together for yourself. So I'm talking about all the, that the band Phish should have the same thing done to them, but intentionally. And it's the same thing that they've been doing to their audiences, since they started touring back, in the prehistoric ages. So I don't see where it's inappropriate. Number 9 of the top 10 worst things I want to do to the band Phish: sucker punch them in the ball meat. Oh yeah, you know it. You know they got it coming. Sugar Magnolia and sucking my meat. And it's like, sterilized bands who, have all this talent and it's just so dull. Turn it up a notch. I mean, that, from -3 on the emotionally evocative scale to bring it up to -2 or something. All right, number 8, strand them on the International Space Station and jam their radio signal. Yes. Top 10 worst things I want to do to the band Phish. We're blowing through these pretty fast, huh? I might be able to get this edition of Top 10 Worst List complete in less than 10 hours. Number 7, feed them exclusively on a diet rich with salty foods and bad cholesterol. Oh, no, you wouldn't do that to the band Phish. They're a national treasure. They're the 3rd installment of National Treasure, maybe. The movie series with Nicolas Cage. Number 6, make them watch the entire film catalog of Nicolas Cage back to back without toilet breaks or anything. Some of those movies are okay. The second half of his career, what is this guy does a movie every couple of days or something like that? Left Behind, Indianapolis, USS Indianapolis. I'm a surfer guy running around, and I've got retiring down. I used to be a hitman or whatever movie. It's just like, it's almost like the guys that write his movies are just sort of on the way to the set, and they're like, "What should we need an idea for a movie? Let's do something where an uncle from their past shows up out of nowhere, and he's got a pig for a pet, and the pig sniffs truffle funguses and stuff, and then he becomes director of the OpenAI, and then he gets together a group of black women to do the manual math problems for a NASA space launch in the 1960s, and then he becomes, he starts the McDonald's franchise, and then, whatever. It's just like, everything you see is like, what's the, are you just going to make a movie about everything that you see? It's like, whatever. Okay, dude. Number 5, can he just make, he's a great actor. Before he got supposedly, I think I read somewhere that he got torched in the Bernie Madoff, as in Bernie Madoff with all our money scandal, and lost everything, including his, coffin filled with soil from his native land that he sleeps in at night. And that's why he's had to, that's why he has to do all these lousy, crappy movies to rebuild his ready cash so he can have a little walking around money. But that guy was doing major league movies before that, right? How come Nicolas Cage can't land a decent movie gig? It's weird. What did he do? Who did he piss off? Number 5. Make them all fight sumo wrestlers out in the back of a suburban Chili's restaurant. Of the top 10 worst things to do to the band Phish. Number 4, suspend their library cards. Oh, that would really stick it to them. Number 3, have some annoying little kid follow them around saying, the Grateful Dead did it better for the rest of their lives. I've got hemp pot holders for sale, man. Hemp pot holders, man. Number 2, wood chipper up that obnoxious lumbersexual poser dude who leaves the band Steve Buscemi in Fargo style. That guy, the lead guy, is like with the cheesy beard, the hipster guy. I'm like, poser. And number 1 of the top 10 worst things I want to do to the band Phish, strand them for the rest of their lives on a desert island where the only music they had to listen to was Phish music. Yeah. Hello. Hot soup. Well, that's all the time we got for this edition of Top 10 List. I trust that you'll become enlightened and inspired by this marvelous list. And can't wait to be able to do it again, all over again. Before I go officially, I need to do some tail end disclaimers. Number 1, that's not numbered. Everything I said here is all opinions. I don't know what I'm talking about. I haven't listened to anything by Phish and, seriously listen to anything. I can't. Who could? I have no idea how anybody goes to a Phish show or listens to them. Do they have any albums? Have they ever released any albums? Or is it just like, malignant, sort of like the bubonic plague, where they just make their way across the country, infecting unsuspecting townsfolk and whatnot. I can't imagine anybody would spend any more time than is absolutely necessary listening to that trite, insipid garbage. But hey, here I am, absolute and total nobody, whose opinion is absolutely completely meaningless. In fact, most of the time, if I'm dumping on something intellectually or emotionally, it probably should be worn as a badge of honor, saying that, here's something that also ran, never was, whatever term you think is most appropriate, as casting aspersions against us. Then it's sort of like a validation. It's like almost like the intellectual equivalent of the enemy of my friend is my the enemy of my friend. No, the friend of my enemy. The enemy of my friend is my friend. No, it's not right. Well, you know what I'm trying to say, right? You get it? Jesus Christ. Why do you have to wait for people to give you all the frickin' answers? Don't you have a brain of your own where you can say, oh, the friend of my enemy is my friend? No. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Well, you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Leave some comments down on the, whatever, and do your thing, and smash the frickin' like button. God damn it, what do you think I'm doing this for my health? Do you think, take a look at me. Does it look like my health is improving? Does it look like all the stress I'm going through to try to do this frickin' list is going to help me? Look at me. There's nothing's going to help me except an early death. And sure, listening to Phish, it sort of like inoculates you from pain. It anesthetizes you and you become numb listening to that stuff so that you can't feel the pain, but it wears off pretty quick. Once they take Phish out of the room, it can't be more than 20, 30 seconds before you return to the normal level pain sensitivity. Smash the freaking like button, goddammit. Subscribe for me, you filthy animal. Let's try to get through this mess together, okay? Oh, wait, one more thing.